Welcome to Chatterbox Quilts. I'm Kim Jamieson Hurst. Today I'm taking a look at a book called Bertie's Year, and this is a book full of quilts for every single month. Actually, they're more like wall hanging size, and it's called Bertie's Year, 12 Fast and Easy Quilts from a Little Wool and Flannel, and it's by Bonnie Sullivan of All Through the Night. Now, every one of the wall hangings in here has Bertie in it. Now, Bertie is a little bird. You see all these little birds on the front. So Bertie's the little bird you see each month. And Bertie is doing something different depending on what month he's in. And every month he also has a different little hat on, which I thought was really cute. Now, of course, these can be combined together into, a bigger project, either a quilt or a wall hanging. And there's instructions in the back of the book that tell you about that. But let's take a look at the projects in the book, and let's take a look about the information about wool and flannel applique. So she talks about how to do wool applique. You can do it with freezer paper, or you can do it with fusible web. And the projects in the book, she's used the fusible web applique technique to do that. There are also some embroidery stitches in here, not very much at all, but a few. And so she gives you the different embroidery stitches at the front of the book, so you'll know how to do them. And of course, if you want more information on embroidery stitches, you can always check on the web. There's lots of videos, including videos on my Chatterbox Quilts YouTube channel on basic hand embroidery stitches, so you can always check those out if you need that help when you're doing this type of a project. So, of course, the year starts with January. So here's little Bertie. You can see him here with a little red hat on. I love the touch of the hats each month. I just think that is so cute. And so you can see some of the hand embroidery details in here. Now, you're making the little stars in the background with your hand embroidery, but this border here could certainly be done on your sewing machine. I'm sure there's a stitch very similar to that on your sewing machine that you could use if you wanted to, if you didn't want to do the hand embroidery. There's also a few little buttons in here as well, so if you have those small little buttons, they make a nice embellishment on these projects. So she'll show you each month what you have to make, what you're going to make. She even shows you how to cut out the fabrics to get the best use of your wool, because as we know, wool fabric is not very inexpensive, and it doesn't take a lot in these. This particular one is 13 inches by 17 inches, for example. But I just thought it was really cute. He's got the little snowman there and everything. And actually, I really like that stitch and the contrast between the dark fabric here, which I think is probably a flannel. Yes, dark flannel there with the white or light color thread there. I think that's really effective too. And you don't need much fabric, of course, because they are small pieces. So even though wool can be a little expensive, you don't need too much. And you'll see throughout the book, you probably don't need too many colors of wool because you can use them in the different projects. So if you have one piece of green, you can probably use it in quite a few of the different wall hangings in each month. And the other thing I wanted to point out, I'll just go back here for a second, is when you see these, you can see that we've got this little kind of border around the central area here. So when it comes to making the wall hanging, she's going to show you something a little bit different to do in that situation to make sure that it doesn't get too big, which would be the quilt size. Here's February here. So we have some little bleeding heart flowers here, and we got little Bertie here with his little top hat on and his little, girlfriend or whoever she may be there, or maybe hopes to be girlfriend, okay? So a same size on this one. So you can see there's more green in here. So you could use that green fabric like I mentioned. But I really like the fact that she shows you the cutting guide for, this is, in this case, the black flannel that she's using. So it helps you a little bit to make the best use, or it helps you, I should say, to make the best use of your fabric. So that's often quite helpful because nobody likes to waste fabric, right? And you can see that she's also got the design here where you can see, the hand stitching that she's doing here. She has different numbers here because she used different flannels. So you can see that, she's used number 2 color here, number 3 color there. So she actually does have different colors of green in here. So she gives you a lot of information there. That's how to assemble it, but it shows you a lot of more information than just assembly there. Now when you come to March, and I really like the March one because I love the little bee, all right? And look at the effective border here, really cool. This looks like honeycomb, the stitching, right? Which I believe you may have on your sewing machine. I know I do on mine. So again, more green going on there. So a little bit of hand embroidery there, but again, if you want to do that with your sewing machine, you certainly could. April's a time for Easter. So we have him with his little Easter ears on and the nest with the eggs and everything. They're just really super cute little designs, I thought. And because they're not very big, they're all 13 inches by 17, won't take you long to make them either. And whether you want to assemble them together into a wall hanging or a quilt, you wouldn't have to. I think these would be really cute if you made a background or a holder for these, and each month you just put the new one up, right? You just change it over each month. So you have something new each month. Here's May. Okay, again, the little bumblebee, very cute. But all the flowers here, right? April showers bring May flowers, so here's the May flowers here. Oh, it's just such cute little designs. June with the strawberries. He's got the little flower on his head here too. This is really effective border, I thought. It's just like kind of wow, right? It's very cute. So again, even if these are, these are small projects, but keep in mind some of the border ideas she's using because you could certainly use those on other projects and resize them accordingly. Here's July. Oh dear, he's spitting out the watermelon seed, but it's very cute. We got the watermelon down here. Again, some hand stitching going on as well. But even Birdie himself, right? He is the same fabric all the time. So you get to use that, except for his hat. You get to use that same fabric every month because he's the same, the same bird every month, right? So it's not like you're switching, to different colors for a different bird every month. Here's August, my birthday month, and here he is sampling a pear, the ripe little pear now, which is really cute. Again, interesting border effect here, and he's got the little bandana on. It's really cute. So he's not wearing a hat here, he's wearing a bandana in this particular one. September with the squirrel. I love squirrels, so I thought this was really cute too. He's got the little acorn cap is what that reminds me of that he's got on his head there. October's got to be Halloween, right? So here we are with the little pumpkin who's looking up at him as well. Again, very cute. So they're just really whimsical, fun designs. And I think you could take, if you want to break some of these apart. So for example, in November here, we've got the leaves here, like sort of like maple leaves. You could certainly take those motifs and use them, those designs, and use them in another project if you wanted to. You could even take the bird, just Birdie, and make him into different projects too if you wanted to. December, here he is with the little ornament that says Noel on it. Really cute. They're just all really cute. I love them all. I think they're really super sweet. And I like the combination of the flannel and the wool. Gives it that kind of warm, cozy look. And if you wanted to make the throw, or the quilt, I'll call it, she's got the information on how to do that at the back, and you can see them all there. So it gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. And if you wanted to make the wall hanging, then she's changing things a little bit here. She's not putting the borders on here, but she's got sashing and an exterior border there. So that's what makes it a little bit smaller rather than having it, the size of the quilt. And so the wall hanging is 44.5 by 42.5. And the wall hanging, I'm looking for the size on that because I'm not sure what that is either. 56.5 by 58.5. So, somewhat bigger for sure. So I just thought they were really, really cute designs in here. Like I said, I could see using them like every month and changing it up every month. The other thing I like about these is that we have all of the applique templates in the back of the book with the overlaps that are really important when you're tracing the shape for the branch, for example. You'll trace along that dotted line to make sure that it's going to lay underneath of the snowman. She tells you about the different stitches that you're going to use if you're doing some hand embroidery, if you're going to follow along with the hand embroidery stitches there. The templates are all full size, also a real benefit because I don't like to enlarge things. And they're also colored, right? So that, you can see that, you need some pink in here. She does tell you what color they are and everything, but you get an idea of what they're going to look like because she actually has them colored in rather than just having them, just the outline drawing of the applique template. There's that little bee again. Love the little bee. So all of them are 100%, and you've got all the different templates to trace, all the information you need to make those individual patterns or individual wall hangings, or if you want to put them all together. So if you really like to do wool applique, if you like that combination of wool and flannel, and you didn't have to use flannel, you could use certainly regular 100% quilting cotton if you wanted to. You can always change things up, right? But if you like this idea of having something different each month, I would recommend you take a look at Birdie's Year, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can take a look at the book in more detail and maybe even get your own copy. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your quilting friends. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified the next time I release a new video. And before you go, check out these other videos I've included just for you. For more helpful quilting information, please go to my website at www.chatterboxquilts.com.